Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of The Week Ahead. It's another busy week in the State House. The legislature is working hard, the various committees, to get their work done in a timely fashion, and so as a consequence, public hearing and work session schedule is pretty full. This week, the Labor, Commerce, Research, and Economic Development Committee will hold a public hearing on Wednesday morning dealing with workplace drug testing. And Thursday afternoon, they'll hold two more public hearings, one on overtime conformity, Maine's overtime standard and the federal overtime standard, and a bill dealing with unemployment insurance. Some of you may remember last week, the LCRED committee had a public hearing on LD 1757, which would slow the rate of minimum wage increases in this state. It was a packed public hearing. Testimony went on for about 8 hours, most of it supporters of the bill, as was the chamber, and small businesses who practically begged the legislature for some relief over rising wage and hour costs. The LCRED committee will hold a work session on that bill Wednesday afternoon. So they have a busy day that day, public hearing in the morning, work session on the bill Wednesday afternoon. I don't expect a lot to happen Wednesday, but that will remain to be seen.
In education this week, there are work sessions on two carryover bills. LD 228 removes the requirement for Algebra 2 in Maine high schools as early as next year. And LD 1492 is an act to attract, educate, and retain Maine's immigrant population. And this would create some various programs that would help Maine's younger immigrant population. And then on Tuesday, the Maine Development Foundation has their tour of EduCare with legislators. And looking ahead to next week, there are two other education bills that we'll be testifying on. One is to amend the mathematics requirement, and the other is to delay the implementation of proficiency-based diplomas.
In taxation tomorrow, we have a big hearing, LD 1781. It's the Bath Iron Works shipbuilding credit bill. It's a huge jobs and investment bill, so we're going to be supporting that bill. It'll provide an income tax credit for qualified investments as long as you meet certain employment levels. So that's a huge bill. It's a great bill for Maine, and we'll be supporting that. On Thursday, before appropriations and taxation, they're holding a joint hearing, not a hearing, but an informational session from DAFs on tax conformity. So they will hear what the impact is to Maine, and that's going to be an interesting, and that's going to be at 1 o'clock on Thursday.
Of the federal tax changes.
Of the federal tax changes, yes.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's it from us for this week. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
Stay classy, Maine.